Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Welcome back. I'm Farisa Fajardo, and I'm so happy to see you again for our second session of the Kitchener Newcomer Women's Digital Navigation Hub. Our program created to support women in gaining the digital skills needed to access important online services here in Kitchener. This program is brought to you by the Canadian Helper Society, a nonprofit dedicated to empowering newcomers through learning and community support. We'd also like to thank the City of Kitchener for their funding partnership. We're once again joined by our instructor, Dr. Hamed Vahabi, who brings years of professional training and experience. He holds a PhD in mechanical engineering from Colorado State University, completed postdoctoral research at Duke University, and currently works as a senior engineer of G. Vernova. His education, and community growth truly enriches this program. In today's session, we'll focus on computer and Zoom basics, including how to use your device, operate the mouse and keyboard, set up emails, account, and become the familiar with basic Zoom and digital communication tools. So let's get started. Let's give to Mr. Dr. Hamed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me share the screen.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, doctor. You can.
All right. Sounds good. Hello again. Thank you for joining. This is our second session for learning how to access online services. And today we want to talk more about the basics of online communication, how to set up an email, how to create good username, a strong password, and some security tips involved there. And we'll talk more about the communication with Zoom, how to install it, and then how to use it. And then at the end, we'll briefly talk about an artificial intelligence tools called Gemini. So one thing important when you want to select the way you want to communicate online is what you need in that kind of communication. For example, if you want to send a document to your colleague and you don't need him or her to necessarily answer that message, then probably what you need is a kind of text-based communication which may not be live. Okay, so if it is the case, then most likely you'll need an email for your communication. You can create an email in Google. We call it Gmail. You can have it on Outlook. You can have a kind of Yahoo Mail. So there are different options for an email. The other case is like, for example, you want to chat with your friend and you want him or her to answer right away. So what you need is a text-based communication mode which need to be alive. And it can be done through online chat platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Telegram, and so on. Or you may want to have a voice call with a colleague, and there are different platforms for there like Facebook, Telegram, Google Meet, and the rest. Or if you want to have a video meeting or video chat, it can be done through one of these platforms like Zoom software, Microsoft Teams, Skype, FaceTime, and so on. And of course, if you want to have a social media, the platforms are there: Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram. There are a lot more there. So you first, like I said, first you have to figure out what you need in that mode of communication, and then go to this list, select one that is good for that need and fits that need. Today, what we want to talk about is this guy email, and then how to work with Zoom, which is needed for this class. Now, for the email, though, we are in fact very familiar with the concept of email. Think of a case where you want to send a package to your friend. Okay, so you have her address, prepare the package, put the address, her address on your package, then go to the post office, put your package in the post office. Then this guy will take the, please, everyone, please mute yourself.
Yeah, I will find who is, then I will mute.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Now, someone will, this guy will go to the post office, take the package, and see the address, go to that address, and deliver the package to your friend. Okay, so what we have here is, first we have a package, then we go to the post office, and then there is a delivery platform which takes the package from the post office and goes to the recipient address, and deliver the package to this address. So these are the key elements of this kind of process, right? Now, think of a condition where you want to send a document from your computer to your friend, okay? So what you do is you go to your computer or your cell phone or your laptop, whatever, and take that piece of document, put it in your mailing software, and then the mailing software will send that document through the internet to the recipient. Okay, what it means is, again, here we have a document, and I want that document in my mailing software, and then the mailing software send that document through the internet to the email address I provided. As you can see, there is a good similarity between these two, right? So don't think of email and online material exchange as very different from what you already experienced in your daily life. It is as simple as I said. So what you need to do is you need to have an email address and send it with your friend. So whenever they want to send you something through email, they have your email address, like they have your home address, and they'll send whatever they want using a mailing software to the email address you provided. Okay. Sorry. Now the question is how to create an email address. To do so, you need to for having an email, you need to create a username and password. I mean, you may have heard a lot about the username and email address. Whenever you want to log into an account, like for example, your banking account, you need to have a username there. Whenever you want to log into your email, you need to have an email address. So these two are sort of the same. Email address is like your username whenever you want to log into your email. Okay, so you have to create an email address, and one thing to remember is email address is public, meaning you share it with others whenever they want to send something to you. So when you want to create an email address, make sure that you're using some good words that you won't be shy if you need to share it with someone. I mean, I remember at some point many years ago, I had a friend, and he created an email address using her pet's name. And then at some point, he wanted to share that email address with his boss, If his boss wanted to send a document to her right away, and she wanted to share her email address with the boss, and she was shy because that email address was her pet's name. So uh, make sure when you're creating your email address, you're using some words that you're comfortable to share it with others. Now, to create your email address, please make it very simple, short, and easy to remember. Easy to remember for you and for others, okay? And you do not have to use your personal information and security numbers. Like, for example, you don't have to use your date of birth, phone number, social security number, what else? Banking account number. These numbers are kind of security numbers, personal information, and should not be shared and used in the email address you're creating. Like this is an example, good example for me. My first name, last name, and the year I created this email. Okay, so it is easy for me and for others to remember this email. Okay, now for creating password, it is more important because password is secret and you should not share your password with anyone else. Okay, so it is a good practice to create unique password for each website and apps. Again, it reminds me of a friend. He he created a password and then used it for his email addresses, for his bank accounts, for his health accounts, for his social media. The reason was he said, I mean, it is not easy for me to remember the password, so I use the same password for all these platforms. And it is frightening if someone, for any reason, if someone find that password. If it is the case, then that guy would have access to your email information, to your bank account, to your health account, what else, to your social media. They have access to everything from you, right? So it would be frightening at that point. So, like I said, it's a good practice to have a unique password for each website and app you want to use. The other thing is, it is usually recommended to keep the password long, more than 10 characters. Again, it's a very good practice to have uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters in your password. And again, do not use personal information and security numbers in your password. Okay. One simple three-word rule, which is recommended to create a good password, is to combine three unrelated random words to form a long, unique password that is easy for you to remember, but hard for hackers to crack or guess. Like, for example, if you, I mean, I usually suggest people to think about the memory from childhood. Like, for example, if you have, if you had, if there was a song that you used to love in your childhood, then it would be a good resource for creating passwords. Like, for example, if I was interested in this song of Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and his farm he has pigs, and the pig says oink oink, something like this, right? If I have this kind of um, song from childhood in my mind and I can remember most of the song, then I can select unrelated random words from that song and create a good password. For example, here I would say old underscore farm at sign oink 2025. And this is a good password because, as you can see here, I have uppercase, I have lowercase, I have numbers, I have special characters, These words are not related to each other, some random words, and it is easy for me to remember and very hard for others to crack and guess. Okay, so these are some tips to create good passwords for yourself. Okay, any question?
Uh, someone someone asked that if already your Gmail hacked, so what you should do? It was
That we are going to do.
yeah, what options we have. And then I have my own question. Is that good idea to save the password in our computer if you like opening the browser, like any browser, and you have option to save it? Is that good idea or not necessarily?
Not necessarily a good idea because there is a chance that someone can hack your system and have access to that file. And if it is the case, then I mean, they have access to everything related to you, right? So it's not a good idea. If you want, you can print it and have it somewhere, a hard copy of the password somewhere, which is not accessible for others. But in your computer, no. If it is difficult for you to remember the password, there are some good apps that save the passwords for you, and you can use those apps, which are very safe. But like I said, it is not a good idea to save your password and a Word file, for example, in your computer. Now, yes,
Excuse me,
please.
how about if you log in, you have two-step verification. For example,
Yes.
the second step authentication verification.
Yes, I'll talk about it in a bit in this slide, in fact. So one thing, there are a few security tips you have to remember here. First of all, change your password immediately on accounts that you suspect may have been compromised. Meaning, if you feel that for any reason, if you feel that your email is uh, your pass, someone found your password for any reason with any way, whatever, right? If you feel that someone have your password, as soon as you can, change the password of your account. The other thing is, it is a good practice to change your password as a routine, like once a year, twice a year, just in case. The other thing is, like I said, only and only scammers ask you to share your passwords. No one else need them. Like, for example, it happens a lot to, especially to newcomers, that someone call you and say, okay, you won this prize and you'll be happy by that. And then they ask you to give them your username and password to send some information to you. As soon as they say they need your password, just rest assured that it is a fraud. Don't continue with them. Don't share your password for any reason with anyone. No one needs your password. Okay. Now, the other thing is, like Mr. Shopur said, over the past few years, people have started to think stronger method to keep your your online information secure, and they came up with this kind of multi-factor authentication tools. We call it MFA. And the way it works is you enter your username and password for to log into your, for example, account, but it won't go into your account. Rather, it asks the authentication tool to confirm your authenticity. And then once it is done, the login process is going to be complete. Now, we have two different way of thinking about it. There are some MFA apps where you install that app. For example, you install this Microsoft Authenticator app on your cell phone. And then each time when you want to log into your account, after, like I said, after entering your username and password, it sends a request to the app and asks you to confirm the authenticity of the user trying to log in. Okay, so if for any reason someone else try to log into your bank account, you receive that request on your cell phone that someone is trying to log into your account. Is it okay or not, right? So if you don't confirm, they won't be able to log in. That's good, right? The other way is using these kind of UB keys. This is a simple device called UB key. What you can do is you can purchase it like for example from Amazon, and then insert it in your computer. This is a USB port, right? Insert it into your computer, and then once you insert it in your computer, it asks you to register your fingerprint. What you can do is you have to press your finger onto this tab, and it very quickly it registers your fingerprint into this UB key. Now, each time, if you want to log into a website or to your account, after entering your username and password, it asks you to press the UB key to authenticate you. So if someone else try to log into your bank account, they don't have your fingerprint and your UB key, right? So they won't be able to do that. So these are some good tools to make sure that your information is going to be safe online. We'll talk more about these security tips, hopefully in future meetings. But for now, I guess it would be good. Let's see how we can create a Gmail. What you have to do is you have to you have to let me sign out here, create a new one. So you have to open a browser. You have to open a browser, for example, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, any
Mari
browser would be
asking
okay.
if a Gmail account had been retrieved
Mhm.
from being hacked, is there any chance that the hacker can have an access on it again?
Yes, there is a chance, so that you have to, I mean, as soon as it is retrieved, what I would suggest you is first try to, let's say, remove the unnecessary information in your email. Sometimes we just save information there and we forget that all those informations are there. It is not a good idea to save your information in your email. As soon as it is retrieved, remove all the information which is not necessary to be there, and then change your password again. Use a different password. Otherwise, they would be able to hack it again. So here, once you open a browser, search, we want to create a Gmail, Google email, okay? So write gmail.com, and then this page, by
Uh,
the way, can
Excuse
you
me,
see my page?
Doctor.
Yes,
Dr.
please.
Ahmed, we got lots of questions, and
Okay.
actually, I'm wondering if we go through all of these questions now, is that good idea?
The problem is, I mean, the way I plan for this meeting, I have about 5 minutes to answer questions. If there are a lot, then it would be good if someone can collect all those questions, send them to me, and I'll try to uh, answer those questions, send the answer to you, or next meeting, before starting the meeting, I can answer those questions quickly.
Uh, Doctor, is that good idea? Like we say when it's like 5-10 minutes after 9:30 that we are assuming we are it's done. we extend for 5-10 minutes. You answer these questions because really
Yes,
some
yes, we
of the
can do that.
questions very good. And
Yes, yes, we can do that. Yes,
okay,
yes,
great.
yes.
Thank you.
That's better. All right. So once you're here, you can create uh, an account for your personal use. And then you need to specify your name and date of birth. I'm just saying, right? Whatever, for example. And then you may want to specify your gender or not reveal it. Either is fine. Um, and then here's the thing. Uh, Google suggests you some uh, email address, which usually are bad. Okay, it is not easy to remember these guys. So it is better to create your own Gmail address. Okay, like I said, what I would do is my first name, last name, and for example, this year. Now, let's start from this. My first name and last name. Let's see what happens. Most of the time you receive this message that this username is already taken, meaning someone already created an email for himself, and emails should be unique, right? So you cannot create the same email address. What I can do is, like I said, I can add some number after that. Let's see what happens. There we go. That email address was not used, and I created this ahmed.vahabi2025@gmail.com. Okay, now I have to create a good password. Let's go with that. What was that? Old. I'll show you here for now. I'll change it for sure after the meeting. But old farm at what?
Doctor,
Farm.
still we can see the uh, the page set up an
Oh, okay.
email. We can see nothing else.
Okay. Let me see what I can.
I believe you should first discuss, close the share. Yeah, then share the other one.
See. Let me see if this one works for. Did it work or not?
Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
No.
Okay, let me stop here. The problem is the way it is set up. It doesn't let me to share the entire Zoom for
Uh,
some reason.
it shouldn't.
Let me go with this. Let me share. Each time I would share page. Can you see the page now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I did is, like I said, I created this email address, ahmed.vahabi2025@gmail.com, and then next. What I have to do is I should create a password here. And then confirm it. Let me write it for myself. Ah. The password I just showed you, right? So that is good. and then you can specify your phone number for this. For a sec, let me stop sharing. I want to reveal the okay. Okay, so once you create the username and the password, specify the phone number, it sends you a 6-digit code to the text message, and you need to enter that 6-digit here, and then once it is done, it creates an email for you. The email would be like here. I just created a new one for this class. Each time when you want to log in, enter your email and the password, and this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is the mailing software that I just mentioned. Now, if you want to send an email, go to
Excuse
this
me,
company.
doctor, we can't see anything.
All right, let me
Sorry.
change the page. You can see it now.
Yes, doctor, we can.
All right. So, yeah, this is your mailing page, if you wish, Gmail. Now, whenever you want to send an email, just to compose and then enter the recipient address. Like, for example, this guy, I have it here. This is the recipient address, the subject, for example, test, and then you can write the information you want to share. You can change the font and make it large or small, the color, whatever you want to do. And then if you want to attach a document, remember I said you can send your document using an email. You can attach the document to this email. For that, you can go to this attach file and then select the document you want to share. And it is going to be attached to this email. There is a limitation because I'm using the computer from my work. There is a limitation to attach document, but this is how it works. Okay, so you can attach an email to this. You can attach a document to this email using this tab, or just drag and drop. Get this document you want to share, drag it, and then drop it here. Either is fine. It attaches the document you want to share, and then you can send it. Now, once you send that document, I sent it to this email as well. So once you send that email, the recipient, what you have here is in your sent, you have a list of the emails you sent. So this test that I just sent is shown here, and then then if for any reason you send an email and it doesn't go through, those emails are going to be listed here. Sorry for a sec. Okay. So there we go. Those emails that are not sent are going to be listed in the draft, so you can send them again, and then in the inbox you have access to all those emails that are sent. If you want to open those emails or delete those emails, whatever you want to do, you can open this email. Now, sometimes you receive an email, you want to reply that email, so you can go to reply, and then as you can see, the recipient address is already filled because you're replying that email. The recipient is already known. Or sometimes you want to delete an email, and but then after deleting you realize that no, it is not the case. I didn't want to delete it, I need it. You want to recover that email, so you can go to more, trash, and then this is the email you wanted to recover. There are two ways to recover here. One of them is just select it, and then go to move it to inbox, or I can just select that email, drag and drop into inbox. Either is fine. You can see both of them are here. Now, if you want to share this email with others, you can forward it to a new recipient. So you can add the address of the recipient there, and then a text, for example, for your information, and send it to that recipient. Okay. This is this. Let me see if I have anything else here. No. Along with these capabilities, I have some good tools here as well. Like, for example, the first one is the calendar. Let me open it in a new tab. There we go. This is your calendar, right? So you can see your month. If you want to go to the other months, you can move between them. You can go back to today. And if you want to save a slot for a task or for an event, for example, after this meeting, let me delete this one. For example, after this meeting, I want to have a call, talk with someone, okay? I just click on that, and then this is an event. I want to call with a friend, right? So it is going to happen at this date, at this time, and you can change the time, for example. And if it takes more or less, you can change the duration. And now, if it is going to happen once, you don't need to repeat it. But sometimes, for example, I want to repeat it each week. Okay. I want to change it to weekly. And then if you want to, for example, go somewhere with your friend, you want to add a guest, you can invite others into this event and add a location. So when you want to go there, you have everything related to that event here. You don't need to look for the required information, right? So this is this. The last thing is when I create this event, 13 minutes before the event, it send me a reminder that okay, this is the event you have planned for. Okay, and I can save it here. Now the good thing is you can have different protocols. Like, for example, sometimes I have some events and tasks for my personal life, some others for my work, some others for like for example, health schedules and these type of things. I can differentiate them using different colors. For example, if I right click on this, I can change the color, and then when I look at the entire week, I would say, okay, at this time I have some personal task, and the other time I have something to work on for my work. Let me show you an example here. Let me share where's my Outlook? Okay. For example, this is an Outlook calendar I have here. These are for my work. These are for my kid. For example, these are for my personal life and so on. Okay. So you can easily differentiate different events and tasks in your calendar. Okay. The last thing here is sometimes I would prefer to take a look at the entire month. I can go here and show the entire month. Or sometimes I'm very busy, prefer to look at daily plans. Usually I would prefer to see the entire week. So this is the filter how to show you your calendar. Okay. Any question about the calendar? All right. So the other thing I would, The other thing I would love to talk about is this Google Drive. This is where you can store your information, like for example, your pictures, videos, documents. You can save, store whatever you want here. It is free if the entire space is less than 15 gigabyte, but if you need more, you have to pay for it. So it is a good idea to store whatever I need handy with my email, store them here, and I can use it whenever I want. Just be careful about the security of the information. And there are a bunch of different apps here. We may be able to look at them, some of them in future. You have settings of your account here. I don't want to go into detail of that for now. And then once you're done, you can sign out and leave your email. Okay. Now go to the presentation. These are all about Gmail. If you use other, if you use other emails, like for example, Outlook email or Yahoo Mail, they're almost the same. Now, there are two ways of logging and using your email. The first one is, like I said, like I showed, open a browser, go to your Gmail and log in. Or instead, you can install the software, for example, Microsoft Outlook. And then each time when you want to open your emails, you can just open your Outlook. Then you can just open your Outlook and you have access to all your emails there. Okay. So, but again, the story is the same. If you want to, if you receive an email, it goes to your inbox. This is how an Outlook would appear. If you send an email, it goes to your sent item. Deleted items are here. If you want to send a new email, you should go there. If you want to answer those emails or forward it to others, if you want to have access to your calendar and the people, if you kind of connect your cell phone to your computer, you have access to your phone numbers here for the people in your phone number here. It's a good tool here. And that's it for now. Let's quickly jump to the communication with Zoom. The first step is to download Zoom. To do that, go to zoom.us or zoom.com, either is fine. Um, oh, okay. So I went to Zoom. I want to download the app, so I go to pricing and plans. There are three different options. The first option is Zoom for free. It's a basic Zoom with a lot of limitations. If those limitations are don't fit your need and you need more capabilities, then you have two other options, Zoom Pro and Zoom Business, with much less limitations, but you have to pay for that. Whatever you want to use, for example, if I want to use Zoom Basic, just sign up, and then it asks you to connect an email to your Zoom. You can specify the email address or select, for example, the Gmail you created. This is, for example, the Gmail I created for this class. So I select this one. And then it asks you, let me go to the presentation. So once you go to the pricing, select the one you want to download, then it asks you to verify your age, um, to verify your age, and then um, specify the email address you want to use, like what I did, and then it sends a verification code to that email address. You have to go to your email, use that code, and enter it here and verify your authenticity. And then you have to create a username and password for yourself. I didn't do that now because I already downloaded and installed Zoom on my computer, right? So I already logged in. So you create a username and password for your Zoom, which should be different, should not, but it is better to be different from your email account. And once it is done, you'll be on your Zoom account. You can download Zoom, and it sends you a link, this Zoom installer or Zoom full exe file. Now double click on that and install Zoom on your computer. And once it is installed, when you open Zoom, this is the first page you can see on your home tab. You can start a new meeting right away and invite others to join you as a host, or you can schedule a meeting for future again as a host. You have access to, I mean, you can join a meeting as a guest and you can share your screen. Okay, let me see if I can show you my. The problem is, yeah, the problem is we have to fix it. Unfortunately, I don't have access to share Zoom here. Let's see. What I can do is, okay. Um, okay. What I can do is I can print screen. Okay, so once you're in Zoom, you have these icons here. If you want to mute or unmute yourself, you can just click on this guy. Whenever you want to talk, unmute it, and then after that you can mute yourself. If you want to share your video, you can click on this. Stop sharing again, click on this. Then, if you want to if you want to see a list of the attendees, you can click on this guy. Let me do that quickly. Show you. So I can, if I click on this participant, then I would have a list of attendees here. If I want to invite someone else, I can just click on this guy, on this icon, and invite invite others. If I want to mute all of you as a host, this guy would be mute all rather than mute me. Okay, so I can mute all, and it mute all of you. And then if you want, as a host, if you want to unmute someone, for example, I'm presenting Mr. Shapur. Mr. Shapur is the host and want to unmute me. He goes to this guy and click on that. And I received a message that someone which says the host tends to unmute you. So I would accept it, and then I would be on mute and I can talk and so on. So it is a way that the host can have a good control on the meeting. Okay. The other thing here is this chat box. Let me yeah. I don't know if you can see, because of that, I'm just print screening everything here. Close this one. Not being confusing. Okay. Okay. Now here, once I click on chat icon, this window is going to open, and you have access to this chat. Everyone in the meeting can send a message, write a message, and enter, and send a message to the entire team. You also can create a new chat room with someone from the team. If you, for example, if you want to send a message to, for example, 3 of the attendees rather than the entire team, then you can create a new chat and invite those attendees and have that channel during the meeting to talk with those specific attendees. Okay. The other thing here is this annotation guide here. This annotation, if I want to write something on my presentation, I can, like, for example, I can use that. I can use this annotation to write something on my presentation. without changing the slides. There's a good tool for the presenter as well. What else I want to talk about? There is a whiteboard tool. I cannot see it here. I don't want to talk. I don't want to spend time finding it now, but that whiteboard tool would be something similar to, and same as this annotation. It opens a whiteboard. You can write on that. For example, presenting something. I want to write some equation and talk about those equations in more details that are not available on my slides. I can open a whiteboard and write those things on the whiteboard without changing the slides. So these are some useful tools to work with. And Zoom, there is one other thing here, as I said. Let me close the annotation. Okay, so as I said, when you go to your Zoom, you have different tabs here. Tab Home, your one is Team Chat. What it does is sometimes you work in a company and you use Zoom for your communication in the company, right? And you want to chat with your colleague without having any meeting out of the meeting or whatever, right? So you want to chat with your colleague, go to this team chat, click on this sign button. Let me show it this way. So click on this message and then invite the colleague you want to talk with, and then start sending your message. Or, for example, you're working in a team and you want to have some weekly meeting, for example. You can create a channel here and specify the name of the channel. For example, what I did here is a weekly meeting. Create that channel with this name and invite the colleagues you want to attend. And once you save it, you have this permanent channel here. Whenever you want, you can go to this channel and send a text message to the entire team. And like I said, you can have all those discussions without necessarily having a meeting. Okay. So these are all about, I guess, Zoom I wanted to share. Let's go to the presentation. Very quickly, I want to, because I talked about all these things. Oh, we are, and yes. So the last thing I want to talk about is this artificial intelligence tools called Gemini, which is an AI tool, which is the Google AI tool. It started in 2023. Its name was Bard, and then in 2024, they changed the name to Gemini. And you can find it. Remember, this was your Gmail account. You can find this little icon of Gemini on their Google account, or if you don't want to go to your Google account, you can just Google Gemini and go to that page. Let me show you here. Share. There we go. So have Gemini here, and then Um, this is where you can write what you want to search for and whatever you want. I mean, from very basic information about like cooking something all the way to very professional search for your research in university. You can search for everything. It is very strong. This Gemini is very strong. This is for free now, so you can use it easily. There are two uh, different options available here. 2.5 Flash, which is used for basically daily searches. 2.5 Pro, which is for reasoning, math, and code. Someone involved in coding, mathematics, and so on, they can find better search using this one. But I mean, this 2.5 Flash would be okay for our daily use. So you can, like for example, write something and then hit enter, it search and gives you some good information on that. What I would love more is this deep research. It is especially good for researchers and university students, higher level university students. What it does is, for example, like um, for example, surface sleepiness. Sorry, you have to select this one first and then write your keyword. What it does, it creates a kind of research plan, meaning it come up with a list of the items that you have to know to learn about these items. This is the list of the items you have to know, how this parameter is defined, how it is measured, how we can tune this parameter, and so on. So these are the list of the information that he suggests you to read. You can revise it if you wish. And then finally, if you agree, then you can ask it to start research. What it does, it collects all those informations. It is like the result would be like a book with different chapters. And for each chapter, you have different resources, right? So it collects all those informations and create, like I said, a pamphlet or a book for you. You can start reading about those things, and you have access to the references and all those things. So it is very useful for university students, the researchers, to get familiar with this deep research. And this is this. Let's see if I have anything else. We're almost out of time. No, I guess I'm good. So for the next session, what I would love you to do is create an email and send me a simple email to this address. If you have any problem with creating an email and sending that email to me, then next session we'll go through it, we'll talk about it. What I would do is, I guess we can spend the first 5-10 minutes of each session, next session onward, to answer your questions and then start the presentation of the session. Next session, what I would do is I would focus on online safety and phishing attempts, how to find reliable information online, and how to manage and organize your files. And hopefully, if we have time, we'll start an overview of Kitchener Municipal website and what brilliant resources available there for you. Again, I want to thank you for joining the meeting. I guess we can have 5 minutes to go through the questions, Mr. Shapur.
Sure. Let me check a few
Get the question
info. Okay. Yeah, but the first question, how we can remember the password, that of course you answered, that you can write it down in a paper, hard copy, and keep something in your hand. Dr. Vahabi, any other good to how we can memorize keep the record of all of the passwords?
Like I said, I mean, if it is difficult for you to remember all of them, you can use the password management apps. There are simple password managing apps. Some of them are for free. You can install it, and it keeps all of your passwords. So you can use them. They're safe, of course. My own strategy is, uh, like I said, I mean, go to my memory, find something related to that website. For example, if it is related to my health account, I find some memory from childhood related to the health account, and then use that and create a password out of that. But I mean, the worst case scenario, if it is difficult for you to save, you can use those password managing apps or write it down on a piece of paper and keep it safe at home.
The next question, we just two more questions, then
Okay.
I believe it is. Yeah, Catherine asked a question. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a question. If someone uses MFA like an authenticator apps or SMS code but loses their phone, what's the recommended way to regain access to a Gmail account that has MFA enabled?
Well, you can reach out to the we can reach out to the customer service of the app, although it is not an easy task to retrieve everything at that condition. But I guess the first step is to reach out to the customer service of that app. We also can have backup for that, but I mean, if you're interested more, I mean, send me an email. I'll send you a couple of links for that. I don't want to go into the detail. There are a lot of details involved. We can have backups for that, and we can reach out to the customer service. These are two steps I can think of for now.
And the last question, it seems we have very different authentication app. So which one you recommend for us to use?
Well, for myself, I use Microsoft Authenticator on my cell phone, and for my work, I use YubiKey. I like YubiKey better than Authenticator app for some reason. But yeah, Microsoft Authenticator is highly used and very safe and reliable. So I would suggest that.
So that's all for your training us today. We're closing our program. We hope you now feel more confident with basic computer use and Zoom features, and that you're one step closer to navigating online services with ease. We're so proud for the progress you're making, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next session as we continue this digital learning journey together. Have a wonderful day and see you soon again.
Thank
Thank
you,
you all.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye.